Well, after casting those little ingots in that tray the other day, I just came upstairs and had a quick look, and I mustn't get any closer than that, it'll go out of focus, but as you can probably see, it's actually quite good aluminium. You know, there aren't any holes or anything. I just tried that, cut a bit off and tried it, and just filed the bottom briefly. And if you can see how that's gone concave, where it's contracted when it's cold, I was hoping this would do the same. Anyway, today I've been feeling a bit better. I'm still under the weather a bit some days, I don't know, old age or remains of this cold or what, I don't know. Anyway, I thought I'll, just for something to do, because I haven't done anything for a while, and it's downstairs, but you've seen it, the crucible, I cut the bottom off, and a bit of the old gas bottle, I welded that on, and made it flat bottom, and I thought, it still wasn't raining, so I thought, well, we'll have a go and just fire it up and see. So I did, and it takes a long while to get up to heat, about an hour, which is fine. And that blower worked, and then there was another hour, and altogether I think I did 5 bucketfuls of crushed cans, so we did quite a lot, and I poured it into here. Now, the only thing I did wrong, of course, I thought, I had this bench downstairs, I thought, oh, I'll put it on here for flat, of course it's wood. So that was that was a silly thing to do. Anyway, it won't matter, but if you can see there, look, it started burning the wood, there's smoke coming off it, so it'll work out, because I slid it along, and if you can see, I've sanded that bit. Anyway, we've managed to get a chunk of alley, which is usable, and I've just very quickly filed it, just to show you, and you know, I think it's going to be workable. The only thing is, I was hoping that it would go slightly more concave, because the idea is, for the base especially, which I'm hoping to use this tray, so I'll need, well, probably double the amount. The only thing is, I went about to the top of the crucible, about 4 inches deep, I would think, but it doesn't have to be quite as thick as that, so I'm hoping to fill this some of the way just to make a base. That's what I got this for. And of course I've got, the only thing is, it's not that bad actually, it has warped it slightly, but it's really best if you can get the first one. So I was going to just fill that with ingots actually, and then melt the ingots, but I found scraping the slag off the top was very easy. I just used a metal bar I've got, and it was very easy. Anyway, after I use that tray and this one, if I fill that one, I think we should be in with slight chance. I'm going to have to work something else out, because I don't know if you've ever filed aluminium, it's terrible stuff, it clogs the file straight away, and you can see all the marks. I'm sure you can see the marks on it. But that's, anyway, and then this piece, you see, oh, now, because it was on there, because I put it on here and had to move it, I then put it on that tray and got my gloves and put it on the path, but it cooled me that time, and that's why it's slightly thicker one end than the other, but that doesn't matter, because the whole idea of this is to slice it up, and use the angle grinder so I don't wear myself out hacksawing, and slice it up, I don't know how much, but say about like that, and then we'll have a chunk of aluminium to mount the steam engine on. Do you see what I mean? So if I can get a base that's quite a bit longer, right, that we can work on, I can then get some other pieces for the uprights and things like that. I've had some other plans. I'll have to do another melt, obviously. I didn't think that using a wooden mould for the flour wheel will work, to be honest, and of course it's going to burn it and leave it pretty rough, but I'm going to try it and see. That's the thing. But an aluminium flour wheel, you see, isn't going to be heavy enough, and so I showed you this before, But something like that will be heavy enough for a flywheel, so I'll most likely end up something like that, because it's already made, isn't it? It'll be quite easy to do, that will. Just the same as the cylinder, I've got some pipe, so I'll make some round ingots, if you like. Quite, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches. We can cut those up and see if we can drill them for the cylinder, and then they'll have to be screwed on. So maybe, and this is thinking quickly, it'd probably be nothing like this. If I had a piece, say, about that thickness on the end, that went, say, it's about that big, something like that, anyway. And then I can screw that onto the base, like that, sort of business. And then if I get some round, we can drill and countersink this side, and imagine that is an round and a lot longer, you know, like 6-7 times longer. If that's on its side, in fact, if I just open this up, I should be able to trap this in here, shouldn't I? Right, let me just trap that in there. There we are. You see, and then if that is screwed and drilled and countersunk with screws, and you've got a round piece, probably about that length, with a flat on it. I've cut a flat on that, so imagine that comes from there to about there, say, something like that. That could be screwed onto there, couldn't it? Quite easily, for the cylinder, and then we can drill. And as I say, I haven't got any means ring to drill. I'll have to go somewhere else to do that, I know that, but if not, if we can't get it done, you know, we'll have a go at 1 or 2 things. I'll make 1 or 2 of these, and we'll have a go and see. But you see that, this is what my basic plan is. That's all I'm showing you really today. That if that was screwed and countersunk and tapped in there, not very far obviously, because it doesn't have to hold very much, that will hold it on there, and it can have a hole in the middle. Say the piston wants to be about 1 inch, doesn't it? So it'll have to be bigger than that, but that's the sort of thing I'm thinking of doing, that's all. So I thought I'd show you that just today. But anyway, this bench, and now I've took that off there, you can see it'll stand up alright, you know, most of it will. But I should have known that it would get hot under the wood. Well, I say I don't know what I was thinking of. I wasn't thinking, was I? Until I put it in. I was more thinking of how to tip the crucible, because putting a flat bottom in, of course I couldn't do it with that bar I did last time. So what I did, I'll zoom into it, I can't not walk into it. You see that wire up there? Well, I just cut a bit of that off and made a loop with it, and just hooked it under the crucible, and it worked very well actually. You know, I didn't have any problems pouring it whatsoever. And as I say, I'd scraped all the slag off first, and barring a bit there, which it went solid when I was moving it. I know what happened there, but that doesn't matter. But we have got quite a usable chunk of alley on this. In fact, we'll have 3 pieces, you see, for making little brackets and stands and things like that. So I just thought I wasn't even going to video any of this, but I thought, well, I'll just show you the update of what we've done, because you know, like I said, someone says, oh, you're using proper alley. No, the whole idea is, I said I'm making a steam engine out of tin cans. Now, you know, out of alley cans. Now, I don't know how much of it I'm going to make out of it, obviously. But as I say, the piston and cylinder, it will have to be improvised, obviously, and I'll most likely won't be able to get the hole smooth enough. without machinery. We'll have to see. I've got ideas. You can see them when it, throughout the winter project this is. So you'll be able to see it without that. But, so it's just a quick update really, this is. But the main thing is, I didn't think that Alicams would cast as good an aluminium as it does. So I suppose that you've got to say that's the result. Plus the fact that furnace I made, I thought I'd have to wait for another fire extinguisher, a bit smaller one, but it works. But it takes, I was too impatient last time, I know that. It takes about an hour to get up to temperature, and then an hour putting cans in to melt them all. But as you can see, we've got a reasonable chunk today. That way, I haven't got any scale, only got some inaccurate bathroom scales, but I think it's about £6-7, something like that. So, it's a sizable chunk, isn't it? And I've not cut any of it, but as you can see, it's it's not full of holes, and it's far better than I thought it would be. Anyway, so that's the update for today. I haven't done one. Like I said, I wasn't going to do this one, but I thought we've had a slight bit of progress, and I won't bore you with the firing again, obviously, because you've seen that now. So we'll leave it at that, and then see what happens in a few days' time.